All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever tried to build anything with AI, there's this one really frustrating rule that you just can't seem to break. Well, today we're going to talk about a brand new model from Google that says it can shatter that rule. Let's talk about Gemini 3 Flash. Okay, so let's set the scene here. The biggest headache for pretty much any AI developer is something called the AI trilemma. It's this constant struggle, right? A battle where you're forced to make a really tough choice before you even write a single line of code. It's kind of like buying a car. Imagine you want something with the speed of a Ferrari, the space of an SUV, and the price tag of a little compact car. It's impossible, right? You just can't have all three. And for the longest time, the world of AI has been exactly the same. You're always told, pick two. And this really breaks down those painful choices, doesn't it? If you want an AI that's brilliant and super fast, well, get ready to open your wallet because it's going to be expensive. Need something quick and cheap? Okay, but you're going to have to give up a lot of the smarts that make AI so powerful in the first place. And what about smart and cheap? Sure, but it's going to be painfully slow. It's like every single option came with a huge, unavoidable catch.
But this is where things get interesting. This is where the story takes a sharp turn. Google is stepping in with Gemini 3 Flash, and they've built this thing from the ground up to be the answer. It's designed specifically to break those old rules.
So what are we actually talking about here? Google calls it a model with frontier intelligence. Now, what does that even mean? Well, think of it as the absolute cutting edge of what AI can do. We're talking top-tier performance that can go toe-to-toe with the biggest, most expensive models out there, but packed into a much smaller, way more efficient engine.
And this quote from Google DeepMind, this is it. This is the core promise. They're basically saying that fundamental, painful trade-off that developers have been stuck with for years, it's over. It's off the table. That's a huge claim.
Okay, so that's a really bold claim, right? It's easy to say you've solved the problem, but they've got some pretty compelling numbers to back it up. So let's stop talking about the promise and actually look at the proof. Let's dig into the data.
First up, speed. And wow, the data shows Gemini 3 Flash is a whopping 3 times faster than Gemini 2.5 Pro. And keep in mind, 2.5 Pro was no slouch. It was already considered really fast. So this isn't just a small bump, it's a massive leap forward.
Okay, so it's fast, but is it smart? Look at this number, 90.4%. Now, this isn't just some random test score. This is on something called the GPQA Diamond benchmark. It's a test so ridiculously hard, it's literally designed to stump PhD-level experts. Hitting over 90% on that puts Flash squarely in the major leagues when it comes to raw intelligence.
And now for the big one, the cost. This is a potential game changer. They've got this feature called context caching. Basically, it lets the AI remember what you've already talked about, so it doesn't have to reread and reprocess the same info over and over. For something like a chatbot that's always looking at the same user manual, this can slash costs by up to 90%. That's just massive.
And that's not all. There's another way to save money. Let's say you have a job that doesn't need to happen right this second. Like, I don't know, analyzing a huge pile of documents overnight. You can use what's called the batch API. It just bundles all your requests together and processes them when it's cheaper, saving you another 50%. So when you put it all together, this is what you get. You've got the incredible speed for apps that need to feel instant. You've got the brain power to handle really complex thinking. And you've got a price tag that actually makes it accessible. Speed, intelligence, and cost. It hits all three. The trilemma? Solved.
All right, so the numbers look amazing, right? But benchmarks on a chart are one thing. What does this actually mean for the real world? What kind of cool stuff can you build when you don't have to compromise anymore? Well, let's look at some really cool examples. First up, let's talk about coding. This is for all the developers out there. Now, this is pretty wild. On a really important coding skill test, Gemini 3 Flash, the smaller, faster model, actually beats its bigger, supposedly more powerful sibling, Gemini 3 Pro. Just think about that. It means developers get this super smart coding partner that can actually keep up with their train of thought, letting them build and test things faster than ever before. Okay, next, let's move on to something a little more playful, video games. And this is already changing how games are made. Seriously, imagine this. You have a cool idea for a game, and boom, an AI generates a playable version almost instantly. That's not science fiction. A company named Astrocade is doing that right now with Flash.
And then you have Latitude, who's using it to create game characters that are way smarter and worlds that feel more real and alive. It's all about making the games we play that much more immersive. All right, let's switch gears to something incredibly important and really timely: detecting deepfakes. You know, when you're fighting misinformation, every second counts. A company called Resemble AI is using Flash to spot deep fakes, and they can now analyze audio and video 4 times faster than they could before. It can take all this complicated technical data and instantly give you a simple, clear explanation of why a video is fake. In a world full of digital fakes, that kind of speed is absolutely crucial for rebuilding trust. And for our last example, let's look at a field where getting things wrong is just not an option: the legal world. So there's a legal tech company called Harvey, and they're using Flash to dig through just mountains of dense legal documents. We're talking contracts, case files, the whole 9 yards. In law, you need perfect accuracy, but you also need to be fast. And that's the point, right? Flash gives them both. It proves you don't have to trade off that high-level reasoning for speed. So the takeaway here is pretty clear. This isn't just a research paper. It's a powerful tool that's out in the wild right now, building some incredible stuff, which naturally leads to the next question: how can you get your hands on it? Well, the good news is it's out there and ready to go. For developers, for businesses, you can start building with Gemini 3 Flash today. It's available across a bunch of Google platforms like Google AI Studio, the Gemini API, Vertex AI, even right inside Android Studio. And that really brings us to the big, final question. For so long, the story of building with AI was a story of compromise. It was defined by that trilemma: smart, fast, or cheap. Pick two. But if a tool now exists that lets you have all three, that completely changes the game. It just blows the doors wide open. So it leaves us with one really exciting question to think about: what will we build next?